Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are here for the zoning citation hearings for October 20th, 2020. Wow, 2021. Great way to start off here. We have 8 matters to deal with today. The first item on the agenda is 18 Gold Street. I believe Attorney Sussy here is here representing.
18 Gold Street.
Yep. So you want to come on up. That. Okay, while we're getting settled in, I'll set up the share screen here. Okay, so. Pretty over.
Good afternoon, I'm Attorney Gary Oberst, I'm the hearing officer today. To my right, representing the city of Norwalk is John Ducky, Deputy Zoning Inspector. And the gallery is Steve Slepin, who's the Director of Planning and Zoning. Slepin, sorry.
I think how much for this.
And I assume that's still your title. And we have any new hire here, I'm sorry.
Incident Fonte.
You're right. Let me move that microphone up. One thing I forgot to do here.
So, we're here for a hearing?
No.
Interested public.
Interested public. Let's have it.
Okay, so we don't have to introduce you. Okay,
I need no introduction.
That's very true.
okay. As you're aware, the city will present its findings, and you'll have an opportunity to be heard, and we'll see what we can do. You're going to speak. Okay, so you're going to have to swear you in. Your attorney. Go ahead.
Okay, very good. So this here is a continuance from the September 22nd hearing. Would you like to disarm there?
I'm going to make the next person who does that confiscated.
So this is a carryover from September 22nd. And if you notice at the last hearing, we had different counsel. It was Attorney Alvasco was the counsel at the time for the last hearing. And we continued the matter to today, no fine. And this was to just allow for progress to be made to remedy the violation. Violation is occupancy of a property for a contractor, landscaper, in a business 2 zone, which is not permitted.
Do you have like a picture or something? I don't remember which one.
I can provide one.
Oh, there's a whole group in that area.
Yeah, that whole the gem streets, if you will.
Okay, so we're just talking about 18 Gold
Right.
right now. Okay,
Correct.
and some violation. What was the violations?
Contractor, no,
This-
not allowed. Yeah, storage and
Okay.
occupancy not allowed, pretty much for use.
Okay,
So flash forward to, let's see here, October 13th. I received an email from Attorney Sussy that she is now representing counsel for the property owner, Mr. Peter Quartz.
this is in lieu of appearance by email. Is that what we're saying?
Yes.
Fair enough. I'm going to do them every day. So basically, it's one of the easiest presentations I ever had. So, because Attorney Sussy has just taken over the file, we have met regarding what needs to be done. It's still the same thing as last time. There needs to be, there's 2 things, either totally vacate the property or it can be, the property can be used as what's called a contractor's office. For those who weren't here last time, you can use 51% of the building or majority of the building for office, and then the rest can be used for storage of equipment and vehicles. And per our meeting, Attorney Sussy and the property owner that is the direction they want to go. So we are just need time to do that.
I'm here.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Haydaki and Officer Oberst. I was retained last week, and I've gone through the file both with Mr. Haydaki and all of the documents in it that go back to 2014. I've also obtained a copy of the file from prior counsel. And there does seem to be a relatively simple resolution that Mr. Haydaki and I have discussed. So I would need just a little bit of time to become completely familiar, come up with a plan, discuss the plan with the client. I have a meeting scheduled with them on Friday, a conference call. And then I don't see any reason why we can't submit documents to Mr. Haydaki for a permit to be issued, presuming that that's the direction that this client would like to go to resolve the violation. I'm aware that there's parking in the front setback. There are dumpsters in the front setback, vehicles and the like. But as the email noted, I just got on board last week.
I understand. I don't have a problem with that. Go back to. Hello.
Hello. Sorry to get crowded.
Like the old days.
It's like the old days, yeah.
I know what's going on. Okay, so here's my concern. This is fairly old.
Exactly. And I can't answer why in the course of several years, this matter has not been resolved.
Right, I understand that. The fine is almost $12,000 at this point that could be assessed, so here's what, how much time do you want?
At least 3 weeks.
Okay. What else the calendar look like?
Our town, we have one meeting scheduled already. That would be November 17th.
What's the, we have one coming on the 24th?
We do not at the moment. Because that's the day
She said
before
at least
Thanksgiving.
3 weeks. I want to give her 4.
And we actually have after
Here's the
the
problems later.
17th, we have nothing scheduled, so it's totally up to you.
Well, let's go to the 24th, see what happens.
Day before Thanksgiving. I'm just making sure. I just-
The 17th is fine.
It's enough, okay.
17th is fine. If we run into problems, I'll certainly let Mr.
Okay.
Haydaki know,
Yes.
but I suspect we'll make progress,
So,
sufficient progress, well in advance of the 17th.
I think so.
17, okay, fine, and that's already a scheduled hearing. Don't have to do anything here. Here's what I'm gonna do, I'm going to. Evaluation. New attorney. No fine at this time. For a contingent fine. $1,000 for progress. Next hearing. Since, you know, they can just keep hiring new attorneys and asking for more time, so. Walks in with a new attorney,
Understood.
goes with $1,000.
Understood.
Okay.
Good, all right. Good, we'll pause right here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to skip down the agenda ever so slightly here. We're going to go down to 16 Devon Avenue, which I believe is item number 4 on your agendas, if you're following along at home. And with that, Attorney Overs.
State your name for the record.
Darwin A. Lin.
Okay, you're going to speak today. Is anybody else going to speak?
She can, yeah, she can, she
State
can.
your name for the record.
Yesenia Sanchez.
Okay, raise your right hands. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Okay. Me too. Okay, we're ready.
All right, so let's do the, everybody's favorite share screen here. Here. Done. Okay, so This year, last we were here for this item was on August 25th, 2021. And the decision at that time was that there was a $500 contingency fine placed on the matter. And it was continued to 9/22/21. However, due to deficiency in the notice, we kicked it one more meeting to today. And so, just for housekeeping records, a much better notice, right there. Notice of hearing for today. And that was delivered via certified mail and via constable service. You know, the constable service here, Constable Bondi's return. And he also had a little note for us, but I think this note is now a little unnecessary because the property owner is here.
All right, fine notice.
Very good, thank you. And just for a refresher, basically this here, I'll put the picture up on the board here. Basically what this was last year, this was a work without permits referral from the building department. And it was for the conversion of a garage space. And then via conversion to garage space, creating parking in the front setback, something you're very familiar with. And also creating a parking space on the side here. If this was extended a little bit, this isn't really the biggest problem. The biggest problem is this has to be converted back to a garage. That was the issue at hand here. And basically, as your previous decision stated, just looking for some progress. We haven't gotten in, there is an active permit to revert the garage back to, revert the living space back to a garage.
Right.
We're just looking to get that, see that through. It's been, I can get the date on the permit here. If you allow me 1 second. I can send that to the hearing officer. From July of last year. And this was a part of the presentation that I made on the 25th of August. So that's why it's not in here. I could pull that up if the hearing officer desires.
No, I got it.
And so, as you tell by the picture here, not much has been going on the scene. So we're looking to try and get this moved along. So you're gonna take it away from the next person.
Yeah, that was the other,
There's the other person. I got you.
that was this one. How do I shut this off? This is a new phone, so I don't know.
Put in the box for you.
I think that shut off the.
There you go. We'll find out the hard way.
Okay, so let me see here. There it is. This. Okay, so, sir, tell me what's going on.
Well, this is I'm gonna start before 2021. That thing. I know I understand the laws, but the thing is, I make more stronger that wall in front, because while previous was a garage door, you know, and the garage is tiny, so any car gonna fit in there. And I got my office right now, and for real, I don't know, because I did the same, the retaining wall, I did the same how it was before. I just put a new stone, and I think I did it the right way, how I did it. But the only issue is I did how to permit.
When you applied for a permit, what happened to that?
No, apply after, when I did the second level.
Right, that is what we have. It's
What
the,
about the garage?
it's both. It was for both, for,
So where does that stand? What's going on with this?
What do you mean?
because this is the permit that had the garage door to reinstall. To reinstall the garage door. And that was. Yeah.
Oh, maybe the architect reapplied for
The architect, yeah, this is, I know Juan. I know
one,
Juan well,
he
yeah.
reapplied for garage sale because the reason he did like that, because if not, he applied for garage sale and that day, they just let it do just 60% what I'm gonna do on a second floor.
Well, no, it wasn't this, the issue isn't so much the second floor. The second floor is, you know, that's fine. But the issue is the first floor, by taking away that garage, that was the required parking for your property, for the use of the house as a residence.
Mhm.
So,
Right, I got you, but what car gonna fit in there?
That's-
Car gonna fit, it's too low.
unfortunately, that was the supplied party, so that has to remain, even though I totally understand where you're coming from, that, you know, it's a small space, the house was built, you know, a long time ago, cars are a little bit smaller.
Mhm.
Now they're a little bit taller, a little bit bulkier. So the problem is, normally in this case, and I can show you on your map here, if you were to convert the garage, you could normally just kind of do what you did there and put it on the side here, but the problem is your chimney.
Fire, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't take it. So because your chimney is there, you need 8.5 feet, and because of the chimney, you don't have 8.5 feet.
Right, I got you.
So because of that, the garage door has to stay.
But, yeah, okay, if you garage door,
Well, a
Yeah.
garage, I shouldn't say the door, the garage has to
right,
stay.
if the garage door can stay, I can leave those.
Then this one would have to be removed.
What it was before, people just climb the cars and you have a grass,
Well,
you know, it's the same.
well, if it was just grass, our regulations say that's okay. You could park on grass, but you can't make it a hard surface.
No, I'm talking about the.
Right, this side,
part,
right,
yeah, the
exactly.
part,
So,
yeah.
but this is just like asphalt, this is a hard surface.
No,
So-
it's a,
Gravel,
no, it's a pavement, it's a kind of those blocks, it's a removable.
Belgian blocks,
Basically,
Belgian
it's
blocks.
removable.
Culverts,
yes,
that still leave him with the, has to convert the garage back.
correct, yes.
So it doesn't matter whether it's grass or gravel.
Well, over here, once this is back, this is his legal parking. So now this has to be removed because, again, parking in front setback.
Well, if it's grass, he can park there.
Then he can park there,
But you
correct?
still have, so he can take that down and make it grass, but he still has to reconvert the garage.
Correct, this has to go back. to the
But if he
garage.
took the chimney down,
Yes, then he can extend this to get a parking space.
what's more important to you, having the office in the house or having a chimney? Doing something about the chimney? Is that a possibility? I have no idea.
No, it's not. It's
You
not
can't do
possible.
both. You're
That's the thing, you can't do both, right?
gonna have to do one or the other.
Yeah, no, I understand you guys' point, but yeah,
If you want, I would suggest, are you still in contact with Juan?
mhm.
Have him come down and he can meet with me. And I can, you know, because I've known Juan for many years, and we can, you know, go through what, you know, the options are and say, hey, look, this is what has to be done. And, you know, make sure that we start making progress on this. If, you know, I mean, there are other ways to try and get this legalized. I don't think they're a good idea, but there's options out there that we can discuss. So I think it might be a good idea to have your architect.
Right, I got you guys, your point, but right now I'm gonna spend my money there. No, it's not you guys' fault.
Yeah.
It's my fault.
I know.
I spend my money, you know, this situation coming right now,
Mhm.
and I would like to fix how the laws should, have to be, you know,
Right,
make person allow, correctly.
right.
The thing is, right now,
Well,
I
at
don't have
least,
that option, you know, but I would like it, I want it work,
yeah, and that's why I think.
I
the
want it
first-
work. And otherwise I have to sell the house, you know, redo it again and sell the house because, no. it's
Understand, I
not.
understand, that's why that's why I wanna see if we can meet together and try and find a way to not have that happen, you know, that's the last thing we want. We don't want to sell
Right,
the house.
exactly.
So.
Because no parking space. If
Oh, I
you
know.
see, I only have,
We
only have
know.
one in here and one over here. And
Wait,
it's not enough. That's what I did that way.
We
Which
know
is,
that, we know.
in the future, if you guys need it, not that space
Yeah,
is removable. It's
That's
no
not
pay, it's no concrete
right,
underneath of that.
right, that's
So
the
it
easy
just
part.
Take the plug. the
Blocks out.
Blocks out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And maybe we can do that, maybe we'll start with that, let's start with getting those out.
Let's talk about some timing. When can
Yeah,
you start
sure.
talking to each other and when do you want to come back?
I can,
Let's see, you're gonna have to do something,
Right,
but talking with Mr. Hidaki is doing something.
right,
So if you do something, I'll continue it while you, give you a chance to do that. I'm not trying to
right,
make it happen overnight. I want you to get the best solution possible,
right.
but you gotta get a solution.
Mm, right now, I don't have my hands clean, because I have to talk to one,
right,
his time.
right. I mean, so what you can do, I mean, I'm okay with seeing as we already have the 17th as a date. So,
3 weeks, I don't know, you guys talk in the next 3
yeah,
weeks?
I think, so. Yeah, at least us, it was trying to
Asking
get the
him, not
architect
you.
in
I know
here.
you can talk anything.
Thanks, I think, thanks.
Okay, 3 weeks, give you enough time to come back here and tell me what you're thinking of doing. You don't
Man,
have to accomplish it, you just have to come up with something here.
right, and this room again,
Well, that would be on the 17th in 3 weeks,
17th.
but before then, we gotta have a meeting, you,
With Juan.
me, and Juan,
okay,
and discuss
okay,
how we're gonna go move forward.
okay,
So we gotta arrange that. So maybe we can either shoot me an email or a voicemail or something like that.
you got his information,
Right, I got his information here
Oh,
right now,
yeah,
and
right.
so is that, I'll just make sure, is your number on here somewhere? Put your phone number on here, just to make sure, I might have it somewhere else, but I'll make sure. Put it somewhere on there, that's why you're, where are you at there? Perfect. Thanks.
thank you.
Wait a second.
Now he's gonna do his thing.
November 17th.
Here, I'll give you a little note.
You have a $500 contingent fine. The violation continued with no progress and raising the contingent fine to $1,000. If there's progress, I can always waive it, but I want to see you working on this. I'm giving you oral notice now. You're not going to get a marshal service or a letter. You're being told right now that's. Understand?
Yeah, not even-
Don't answer me aloud. I'm sorry. You understand?
Yes,
here, I'll even give you.
Okay, so there we go.
Thank you. All set? That's yours. All right, and that is 16 Devon. So we'll stop that and we will pause recording. Okay, so we are on to item number 3 on the agenda, which is former railroad parcel along South Main Street. There's a long description as to what it actually is, so we'll go by that nickname for now. And we'll go to the share screen. Here we go. So, last time we were here was August 25th, 2021. And at that hearing, there was progress made. And basically the determination was, the violation was pretty much gone. We were monitoring to make sure that there was no more commercial activity from the property, no more comings and goings from that particular area. And I have here first, these were submitted at the public hearing as a little reminder from
Swear
the,
in the witness.
oh, sure, absolutely.
Just say, I raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Thank
Right.
you.
Sorry, jumping on that. So Attorney Hall.
But sometimes he has his glasses on.
So this was submitted at the last hearing by council. Basically, the equipment, vehicles, machinery was removed. There's still some paver bricks there. And this is just a little close-up shot of this pile of rubble. But this compared to what was there prior,
What about this junk?
these are just the photos that were submitted by
Oh, this is, oh, okay.
Last time.
last,
Oh,
yeah.
oh.
So like, we're getting to the good stuff now. I'll give you a back, there you go. So our first photo here is, so there's an entry gate, which I'm sure you remember, hopefully you remember at this point. And you see, there's a little trailer over here, but there's just a Jeep, which is a red passenger vehicle, which is fine. The junk on the side has been removed. The only thing still remaining is the pesky red bricks. Those are still there.
When do you take that picture?
The 13th.
That's not there
They're gone
anymore.
now?
For
Okay.
the trailer, I was there because I was getting inflated the tires and everything.
And then take
Yes,
that out. Okay, okay.
I thought you were there yesterday.
No, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. But those were the only things left. I've been by a few times. I have not witnessed any commercial activity coming and going from the property. I've been down that way several times. I have more than a few violations in the area, so I'm down there a lot.
So the only violation are these bricks that they are saying, that Seha is saying are gone.
Not all of them, because when you gave me the picture, it was right on the side of the gate.
Mhm.
It was a pile and the trailer, the little trailer.
Yep.
I took all that.
Yep.
A lot of those ones, I didn't think you would want me. As a matter of fact, somebody's buying them now, but they just a few spread out over there that I didn't think you told me.
Yeah, it's well, it is a contractor material, but the violation is for operation of a contractor storage yard and business. That's
Attorney Hall, have you seen it?
I have not, no, I didn't stop by. I too was relying on Mr. Hayducky's
Right.
attention to going down there the morning of the hearing.
sometimes most
We'll
of the time,
we'll wait here now. It doesn't take some-
I go there. 20 minutes.
All right, so I'm gonna continue to confirm that everything's gone, and then we'll close it. And you won't have to come back. I just wanna,
They just, go check it and we'll throw it on the next hearing, and hopefully everything's gone.
yeah.
If it's not, I'll be in contact with,
If not, we'll screen, but
Okay.
let's just assume it's gone.
we may also have an interested party here as well. Attorney Walters.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you interested in this particular matter, man?
Well, this is why I'm here, but I'm just here to listen right now.
Okay,
Okay, well, I'm about to make a decision. If you want to say anything, this would be your chance.
There we go.
If you're
I
gonna
don't have
speak-
much to say other than I'm glad it's being addressed appropriately and look to see that whatever else needs to be removed is removed. And I hope wherever else this stuff may end up, it's
It's appropriate.
appropriate and legal.
a happier
So that we
place.
don't have to go through all of this again. So,
Okay, would you state your name for the record? please?
Darlene Young,
All right, Ms. Young, thank you very much. You're not gonna object to what I'm writing here either then. All right. Yeah, they stop those. This is a little weird.
A little strange.
Violation probably cured. Mr. Ducky. To confirm. And we'll close the file. Okay, so I continue it.
Well,
Or
Going on to the
just
next
leave
hearing.
it- or just leave it with you and you can close the file.
Well, you do it because we still have
Yeah,
we still have that contingent fine still hanging out there.
Is that continued? Okay.
Yeah. That's right there. So there you go. $1,000.
All right, well, I'm not gonna charge him $1,000 because he's so ably represented. So we will close the file and waive the contingent fee.
No, if there is something there, I'll hold the spot for it on the 17th hearing, just in case, and I'll send due notice to the property owner. And to
But assume no notice, assume you're not coming back.
Notice duly received.
there you go, need it.
There you go.
All right, perfect. And that was South Main. Okay, so we are on to 5 Hillside, which I believe is number 5 on the agenda. And this one is another return item. That one, just down here. There we go. Okay. So last time we were here was in September again. The issue was they had not submitted a application to us for a new driveway. They created a driveway and didn't submit an application.
In the picture.
We do. Exactly. It's part of my presentation. We can
All right.
get a sneak peek.
Reminds me a little bit.
So
Better than your 1,000 words.
this is true. And so basically they need to get a permit into us and then actually do the work.
Right.
So on the 22nd, after our hearing, I come to find out that they did indeed, the same day as our hearing, submit an application. And I just didn't know it in time for our hearing.
Mm.
And so I wrote up the sign off the next day
Right.
and sent it up to Public Works, and it's currently, as of today, or as of yesterday, is in their queue.
So nothing the property owner can do.
At the moment, there's nothing they can do. It's in where it should be. Just as a reminder for folks at home, there's the sign off, and this is what the plan is going to look like. So basically, they have their house, existing front yard. This is where they cut into the property. And basically gonna make a one car driveway. That's their, and here we go. There's the photo. So they're just gonna make it even with the house. And that's about it. It's gotta meet Public Works requirements. If they do the work, and they're all set.
Okay, so we're just gonna continue this.
That would be probably a good idea. I guess we can continue it. We can continue it more than, or if we really want to pile on for November, we can do that. Then we can add this one.
Well, what's the likelihood of something happening by then?
It should, Public Works should at least be in contact with them by then, if nothing else.
Well,
Could there be progress here?
how will we know if they've been in contact?
Like, I can check our system, and I can also call the Public Works permitting guys and just check up on them. I can call, once a
See if
week's
some-
not a problem.
All right, so if we continue it for 3 weeks, and we'll see what Public Works is doing.
And if they approve it, then at that point, it's gonna be winter time, so we may have to extend it a little bit more at that point, but I guess as long as it's approved, it's a
As long as it's
step in the right direction.
Okay, so this is, let's see what I said last time. There's progress to our resolution, so contempt fine rescinded at $1,000, $500 non-contempt fine remains. Okay, so I'll just keep that in place and we'll give them 3 weeks. That's just fair. Can't do any more than I can do.
All right.
Sorry. Resolution continues. $500. Non-contingent fine remains. progress. Were they zoning?
Public Works.
Public works. Works. 3 weeks. Works. Date is
November 17th.
17. Notice. Okay.
All right. This one will get on the next.
Yeah.
And we will stop share there. And take a very short. We're on to item number 6 on the agenda, which is 12 Ruby Street. And this was continued from August 25th as well, much like Gold Street. So we can, so we take this one out of here. There we go, 12 Ruby Street. So previous decision on the 25th was to continue to the 20th for progress. The nature of this was very simple, that they had a, the violation is they're the same thing, operating a contractor's operation on a property in a business 2 zone. The difference between this one and the one we heard previously is that the property is large enough, they can do what's called indoor contractor storage, which means basically they have to put everything that's outside inside. And so the process to do that for this case, what he wants to do is to put an addition on the building to ensure he can get everything inside.
Okay.
So first bit of evidence I'd like to put in, if you will, is this here. This is an email conversation between myself and the property owner on October 18th. Basically saying that he has plans and he wants to, he's gonna be meeting with the builder and he is waiting on the survey as well. One bit of truth in that, surveyors are very busy at the moment, they're hard to wrangle in. And so he actually arranged a meeting with me, and I'll use the next page here, the last thing I want to submit. For a week from today. He's gonna come in at 2:30 and he's gonna have his building plans, his narrative, and hopefully, as he said here, hopefully he's gonna have the survey as well. I have an old survey, so even if he doesn't, we can at least have a constructive conversation, even if it's not necessarily
okay,
something to submit. He will need a new one though at the end of the day, but at least it's something we can work with. And so that's really it. He's still operating there, and he makes no bones about it in his email, so.
You know that. The mind it wouldn't help.
Mhm.
Okay, this is good. Okay. So, violation continues. I don't think we need a fine based on what he's doing.
He's still doing, yeah, it's, he hasn't,
So I'm just not
he
gonna.
has a plan, yeah.
No fine at this time.
I guess the decision here,
To continue,
yeah,
I'm gonna put maximum fine right in here.
all right,
I'm gonna keep this in front of, we get with this notice, right?
oh, yeah,
Maximum fine. $1,700. This time. Continued. To, when do we continue?
if you want to establish a December date, because there's, even if he meets with me, there's, you know,
That's fine.
minimal chance he's gonna get started by November 17th.
Mhm.
So let's see what, I know December, that's getting into the merry time of the year.
Well, But if he meets with you soon, should at least have things lined up, like you can tell me it's snowing and it's Christmas, so that's fine, I can continue it, but.
But he is,
Wait till January, and then nothing happens.
he is, we do have it in the calendar for next week. We are meeting, so.
Let's come back in December and see what's going
Yeah.
on.
So, let's see here. The only two things I would say is the 23rd and the 30th. One is the
You're
Christmas
looking-
Eve.
You're looking at Thursdays.
Oh, sorry, never mind. Why did I look at Thursday?
I don't know.
No, that's weird. So in that case, whatever. Maybe the 15th, keep it,
Yeah, let's finish up the year on the 15th.
the Ides of December. Yeah, we can do that.
So then on the 25th, 22nd, I'm gonna take that off. That one's not in there. Okay, so we know that much. We're not gonna meet on December 29th either.
Oh, no.
I'll take that one off. Okay. So continue to December 15th.
15th.
12, 15, 21.
Yep.
Just, oh, that's progress. Due to progress. Okay, there we go.
These. I think I still got one more. Yeah. I take a quick second here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we'll give it a second there, but
Yeah, I'm ready.
all right. So we are on to item number 7. If you're keeping score at home on the agenda, 7 Thistle Road. And we will go to the old share screen. Last time we were here was quite some time ago, July 7th, 2021. And at that hearing, based on several events, a contingent fine of $500 was removed. This was continued to the 13th of October. However, this was the only item on that agenda, so I figured we all wouldn't want to be here for one item, so we kicked it to today. And basically, at the time, there were 3 solutions to the violation. 1, removal of the commercial
So you should
vehicle.
Give him notice.
Well,
I'll listen to you.
yeah, there's a,
Okay, I'll listen.
there's a reason. So just removal of the commercial vehicle. And he was going to choose this route because I think he took the nature of the violation a little too seriously. To evict the tenant, so this way they take the
Oh,
truck with them. Or B, or C, supply evidence that the truck is not 1 ton.
right,
It's not 1 ton, that's not a commercial vehicle for our standards.
right,
Any one of those 3 would have been fine.
right.
So, I was about to send notice until, while I was on vacation, I got this, presumably from the tenant, because the owner had absolutely no idea that they dropped that off.
Uh-huh.
So this is, the food truck in question, that's the name of the business, Plasterito Tacos. And basically what this is showing, and I give the folks at home a little education in zoning law, the GVWR circled on the registration is the gross vehicle weight rating. So that's basically the maximum weight it can hold, the vehicle can hold when combining its empty weight and any passengers, equipment, fuel, anything you can think of. So by virtue of that, if the gross vehicle weight rating is 2,000, you have to deduct the empty vehicle weight, which even if the empty vehicle is only 1 pound, it gets it under 1 ton. Which obviously a truck is more than 1 pound. So therefore, the truck's in compliance. It is a less than 1 ton capacity vehicle. Therefore, it's legal.
Should have been thrown out right away.
It should, I have, just for the folks at home, the zoning office, when we see a food truck, there are so many different types and variations of food trucks. Some of them are, most of them are actually deceivingly light. There are some that are behemoths, and are clearly over 1 ton. But if it's on the fence, the zoning office is gonna err on the side of caution and send a notice and leave it on the owner or the tenant to prove that it's not 1 ton. So in theory, there's no violation on the property.
And we did find at some point a fine.
Well, we did, and then we rescinded it
We did.
at the 7th, the hearing on the 7th.
Oh, rescinded the fine. Okay, so there's no fine, there's no violation.
Yep, so we're closing it. That's what we're here for.
A lot of work to find.
It was,
To find out there was no
I mean,
violation.
maybe yeah, we're on the record, but this is what should have been done early on.
This-
Yeah.
it's dismissed.
Perfect. All right, it's dismissed. We'll pause for a moment. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are on to item number 8 on the agenda. This is 3 Apple Tree Lane and 3 Apple Tree. Last time we were here, August 25th. Sorry, knows the pattern with all this. And that time we continued to today's hearing. 4 violations were cited, 2 apparently were cured, unbeknownst to the deputy zoning officer at the time. And he still had some work to do. So there was no fine as they presented that they did cure some violations. And he gave them oral notice to today. So first of and I do apologize to everybody involved. I did not know until the last minute we wouldn't be here today. So my presentation's a little long, but first thing I'll submit, these were plans and photos that were submitted at the last hearing. So the plans are here nor there, they're scaled down, ended up getting larger plans, so easier to read, but they just submitted that to show that, hey, we know we amended our plans and didn't tell you guys, here they are. Here's the amended plans. So the photos that they submitted show pretty much, they re-gutted the basement. There was an apartment and it was 100% finished.
Wow.
So upon getting my notice, they took it upon themselves to basically gut everything again. Well, not everything, part of it. So this is still the mechanical area. This is still lower mechanical area. Now this is the half of the basement that was already existing finished. This was work that was done without permits, but this is legal to zoning. Can't speak to building. Because there's no kitchen. This is sideways, but same deal. This is where the illegal kitchen was. This area had always been finished, but you can tell this is where the stove was, the sinks were over here, or maybe down on this side, not exactly sure. But he took this upon himself just to remove it when he got the notice, which is great. But there was still a lot of things to a lot of things to go over. So I don't think, and then also, what prompted all this was they did actually have a legitimate permit to remodel the house. While they were remodeling the house, they were living in the camper. And what made it worse was that mom and pops were living in the trailer, the kids were in the basement of a house that was actively being worked on. And so we had to step in and make sure that that was not continuing. But this was also them showing they removed it to the back of the house, which is where per our regulations it should be.
Okay,
So, and they also disconnected from the house, that was, they had illegally hooked up to the water in the house. They disconnected from that too. And as a cherry on top, they submitted, they put up silt fence along, they have a wetland area here. Not my jurisdiction, but they made the effort once they got the notice.
oh,
So
surely notices were not effective, huh?
I wish they were, even though this was only like halfway what they needed. I wish it was halfway effective, but. Anywho, this is so I can submit to you this here. This is from the health department of the housing inspector, Yvonne, that she verified on September 3rd that all beds and furniture were removed. The kitchen and its components were removed, leaving only the refrigerator. That's again, it should be removed, but I didn't get, because he did so much, I didn't care. And then next, this was my correspondence with the architect from the original permit, and my War and Peace email. The crux of it is requested a meeting, and long story short, the next page shows him and I coming to an accord to meet on September 16th at 2:30, which we did. I'm sorry, that's the second page of that. We're good. So at that meeting, we agreed that while he worked on amended plans, we would also meet at the property to just verify everything that was said at the hearing and during our meeting. Arranged an inspection, just did it yesterday on the 19th. Yep. There it is, the 19th, and upon that inspection, confirmed that the basement was not a kitchen, not a unit, and also took a picture. I was finally able to get, they had rebuilt a shed, good catch, rebuilt a shed that had been damaged by a fallen tree. That wasn't on any permits. Because it's over 200 square feet, it requires a permit. So we're gonna get that on a new approval, and it's featured on this new survey that I got. And I also, just for kicks and giggles, confirmed that the trailer was relocated to the rear and there was no hookups to any water or any other utility. So the plan here, so at the, well, let me get off of this here. Get off of this. So just for the record, I did get new survey and new plans, which if anybody hears this and is curious to check it out, then they can come on in. It's part of public record, as this is an amendment to an open permit. So they can come in and check it out anytime. But new survey showing the shed, showing the full construction of what's going on, because actually in the picture, one of the pictures you can see they enclose a deck as well. So we got plans to reflect that. So now it's just a matter of the zoning department and the building department amending their permits. So we recommend at least, we request at least a continuance to get all this approved. Well, reviewed and approved, but there's nothing on preliminary research that says that it would be denied.
Let's see. Substantial. Progress. this. But. Still. What to do.
Yeah.
My great release. What to do. Violation continues. I'm not gonna give them a fine, that's kind of insulting when they're doing this.
No, yeah, this is, I think, just so you're aware, the survey they got is a full topographical and hydrological survey. Those ain't cheap.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just say, you guys wanna do that, I'm not gonna. I don't need to goose you with $500.
Yeah.
It's time. So fine. Over here.
It's not a lot.
Yes, not money you wanna pay either.
Right, this is true.
Continued.
Well, we got that December hearing out there now,
All right,
the 15th, one,
12, 15, 21.
he's not gonna get too far, even if we give him the approvals, he's not gonna get too far
This is,
at that
that's
time.
all I can do. That's all I can ask.
Oh, we can ask, yeah, I agree. Yes. Save. Again. So, this is kind of odd. I'll only put this here, let me, all right, everybody, we gave Attorney Aldrich ample time. I don't know why she's not here, but I think given what we have here in this situation, her attendance may not be all that important for once, even though it's always important, but not as important. So we'll go to share screen here, last item of the day. 84 Point Street. Last time we were here was all the way back in July 21st. And at that time, we kicked it all the way to today, October 20th, to allow for placement on a ZBA hearing that might, the item to be heard and to clear any possible appeals. I don't have a huge presentation here, ladies and gentlemen, because we do have somewhat of a result from the zoning board of appeals meeting, which was held on September 30th. And basically at that hearing, the zoning board of appeals, in their wisdom, assisted the applicant and council to perhaps not seek a variance at this time, but maybe perhaps going a different route. So mid-presentation, mid-hearing, at the board hearing, the council and the applicant pulled their application from the meeting. There was no decision rendered. And so basically, the board invited them to come back with a separate application for another type of ZBA relief, a special permit, special exception. So even though last time we kicked the can to today to get a decision from ZBA, we really don't have a decision from ZBA. But the way I'm looking at this is if zoning board of appeals suggested they make another application, I feel we have to at least entertain that. And we'll be in discussion with our chief officer and our and the applicant to discuss how that's going to go.
All right, still waiting for ZBA for next step. Violation continues. Homeowner. Simulate. And fine at this time. That's fine. Somewhere.
That is. Not that one.
That's not 600. Continued to, when are we continuing this to?
Well, let's see, they're probably not, so the due date for the November hearing is actually tomorrow, so they're probably not getting that in for the November hearing. So the due date for the December hearing is the 12th. My suggestion would say, let's do the 17th,
Right.
just to say that they got, see if they got an application in. And I will give property owner and Attorney Aldrich both plenty of notice. I think they'll be hearing from me even prior to me even send that out. No. So that is 84 Point Street, and with that, we are complete for the day, I believe. Yes, that is all. Look at that, record timing.
Okay, not bad at all.
All right, everybody, our next hearing will be November 17th. Until then, stay healthy, stay well.